Hello. Hi, welcome to my YouTube channel. Welcome. My name is Mary and I'm so happy to be doing this again with you. You know, I vibrate so high when I do this with you, when I just sit here and get to talk to you. So I'm so happy to do this one more time, okay? Now, if you're new in this channel, you're so much welcome. In this channel, we teach and learn from one another how to be better social beings and just loving ourselves and being happy while at it. So you're so much welcome. And I'll just go straight to the topic that I had prepared for you today, and that is none other than spiritual wellness. So what is spiritual wellness? So spiritual wellness is when someone has a connection with something bigger than self. It actually entails having values, principles, morals and beliefs that gives someone a sense of purpose and meaning in life. So someone uses these principles, morals, values, and beliefs to guide their actions. So that is what we refer to as spiritual wellness. When now you have the values, you have the principles, you have the beliefs that are going to guide you in your day-to-day actions in life. So that is spiritual wellness. You know, without spiritual wellness, then the opposite is that you will feel empty in everything. You'll feel empty in you. You'll always feel empty in your life, and that is not a good sign. When you reach to a place whereby you feel empty, then that is when now you hear so many people committing suicide. Okay, so spiritual wellness is very important. Why does it matter? Why should we prioritize spiritual wellness in our life? I'll give you reasons as to why we should actually prioritize spiritual wellness in our life. Okay, so spiritual wellness matters. Why does it matter? It matters because it gives us a purpose and meaning in life. Okay, so we are able to know our purpose in life, and we are able to know the meaning in life. We are able to know our purpose and meaning in life. That is why it matters. So I'll give a very controversial example. Let's say for the people who commit suicide. So people who commit suicide, if you are very keen why they commit suicide, one of the reasons they commit suicide is because they don't see, at the very moment when they're deciding to commit suicide, it's because they have come to a place and realize that they don't have a purpose in life. They do not, they don't feel like there's meaning in their life anymore. Like life for them has no meaning anymore. And that simply shows that they don't really recognize their purpose in life. And that is why now they decide to do what? To take their life or to unlive themselves. Okay? So it really matters to be spiritually well, or to have spiritual wellness, because you are able to know your purpose and you're able to know why you are living. So your purpose and meaning in life. And then practicing spirituality also helps you in connecting with your inner self. Okay, you connect with your inner self, and that is now when you'll have the ability to have peace and calm. And I like giving this example of, have you ever had people who are very calm when there's disaster? They're very calm when there's disaster. These people are people who have come in terms, or are well, they're actually, they have spiritual wellness in them. You see people who in the midst of chaos, they are very calm. Don't play with such people. These people, spiritually, they are very well. Okay, so practicing spirituality also helps you to work on your inner self, to go to your inner self, to connect with your innermost self, and that is now where you get peace and calmness. In connection to that, you are able to solve issues well. You are able to overcome stress because you have practiced spirituality, which is now in connection to, not in connection, but which in turn is giving you peace and calmness. Okay, yeah, so that is why it is very important, or it matters, that you practice spiritual wellness, or you just practice spirituality. It also helps you to become very much compassionate and empathetic, and very understanding. Okay, so being empathetic, being compassionate, being understanding comes out as a result of someone who has actually practiced spirituality, or someone who has spiritual wellness. Okay, so people who have spiritual wellness will always be compassionate, always be empathetic, and very, very understanding people. They actually are very understanding. Did you know also that when you practice spirituality, sorry, when you practice spirituality, you reduce anxiety and depression. Okay, you become you know why you reduce anxiety and depression? It's because spirituality gives you or offers you something we call hope or solace. You always have this belief that there's something that has power beyond you that is gonna make whatever stress you're going through to have a solution. Okay, or whatever depression you're going through to come to an end, because there is another power beyond you that is able to take over and help you out and help you manage and even take you to where you're supposed to be or where you wish to be. Okay, so if you are someone who always practices spirituality, you will realize that you are able to reduce your anxiety, you are able to reduce depression, because you have that hope, because it's giving you a wider perspective. Okay, a wider perspective of, you know, of how you can overcome or just to see beyond your struggles that are actually giving you that stress and depression. Okay, so spirituality also encourages gratitude. You are able to have gratitude, you are able to recognize blessings in your life. Okay, so if you have spiritual wellness, you'll be able to focus on the good things in your life. You'll be able to focus on what you have and not what you lack. You'll focus on what you have and not what you lack. All right, lastly, having spiritual wellness will help you to balance your physical, emotional, and even your mental status. Okay, or just your mental wellness. So you'll, if you are someone who practices spirituality, you will be able to balance your emotions. You'll be able to have wellness in your physical wherever, and then you will also be able to do what? To have mental wellness, because mental wellness, physical wellness, and emotional wellness is all connected to spirituality. So if you don't practice spirituality, that is when your emotions are out of the window. That is when also mentally you are not, you know, you're not okay. I don't mean like okay to mean clinical okay, but I just mean like mentally you'll not be, you know, healthy or strong if you don't practice spirituality. And you'll even find that physically you keep on getting so much attacked with diseases that you don't know where they're coming from. You're eating well, you're living a good life, but you do not understand why you always feel so much fatigue, why you always feel like your body is not okay, you know, why you always feel like you're sick but you can't really point out where you're sick. It's because you're not, you know, you're not practicing spirituality. So when you practice spirituality, your emotions, your physique, and your mental state will be very, very much balanced. Okay, and then lastly, uh, lastly about this, and this is not actually to do with why it matters to practice spirituality, but I'll tell you one secret. One of the secrets to achieve spirituality or spiritual wellness is avoid, or let me say reduce the amount of people that are accessing your life. Like, if you know, spirituality is so paramount, but if you get what I'm saying, you're getting it. Like, don't be too much accessible to everyone, because human beings are spiritual beings, and people can bring their state of emotions, their state of mental whatever to your life, and it can destabilize you. So that is why when you hear statements such as do not access, it's spiritually bad manners to let everyone access you, it is very true. You need to know who is accessing you and what they do to you when you're around them. That is all about spirituality. So that is one way you can be able to actually guard your spiritual wellness, because in my next video I'll tell you how to achieve spiritual wellness and how to get there. But one thing I'll leave you with is just be careful who accesses you, because not everyone who accesses you leaves you the way you are. And some people will access you and your life will never be the same again. Because if you're someone who is into just letting anyone access your life, then you are practicing poor spiritual hygiene in your life, and it will really mess you up. Okay, yeah. So that comes to the end of spiritual wellness. I hope you've gotten one or two. I know I was rushing so fast. Yeah, but I guess you've gotten really the points, or you've really understood what I'm trying to put across as my points. And just before I tell you bye, I want to leave you with something to think about, okay? And there's something to think about is this, that learn to love people on their first experience of things. Learn to love people on their first experience of things. Yeah. So think about that. It's food for thought, and your life will be better. Okay? Yeah. So thank you for listening to me. And that's a bye for now in whichever part of the world that you're in.